Hello guys, welcome back. In this video let's look on the layer styles bevel emboss. Okay, so I've got a Photoshop canvas here which is with simple background. I would like to take a color here, so I'm taking a nice fluorescent color and put it in the background. So I'm using alt backspace and then fill that background. Now let me type a text. So I'm using the text tool and then filling it. So I just want nice fluorescent color again, and let me drag it like that. So we have layer styles here in FX. So you could see we have different types of layer styles. So I'm talking about bevel emboss. Okay, so when I do that I get the bevel emboss and then all the options related to it. So there were some earlier settings there, so I'm going to reset to default. So that brings up these two default settings. Okay, but if you have done anything and then you want that to be your default, then you can say make this as default. So I'm going to leave that. So we have here is the style of the bevel. So we have outer bevel. So there are 5 styles. So outer bevel is actually making the text slightly extruded from the wall, and the transition between the wall and the text is where the bevel is applied. Here you could able to see it. So it looks good when you try something like extrude a wood carving effect or something like that. Okay, so you can just change the depth here, and also you can try the size. Okay, and then you want to soften it or you want to keep it hard, you can put all that stuff. And you have 3 different types of the extrusion. We have Chisel Hard, we have Chisel Soft. So soft looks quite scaly, while hard looks soft, so it works opposite. And we can soften them, and you can just slightly give that softness to it. And you have the up and down option. So up is basically giving you the extrusion for the text. The text is coming up, while if you choose the down, it is engraved, so the text went inside the wall, and that's the down is. If you just come down here, we have a shading section, and the up one is the structures section. So now you're working for the shading, how these colors on the extrusion is given. So if you could see, the lighting is one important factor. So from which angle the light is coming, based on that, that area is bright and then dark accordingly. So here we have a trackball sort of interface where you can select that point, and then you can just move the light direction there. Okay, so you can choose any way. So here we have 2 things. One is the angle and the elevation. So if I put the altitude to 0, the light will be coming from the front. So this is like a flashlight, and it's giving me a flat lighting there. So I prefer to keep a 45-degree angle, so it is slightly coming from above. Then you can start exploring the direction from this attribute called angle. So 0 degrees is coming from right, 90 is coming from the top, 180 is coming from the left, 270 is coming from the bottom, and then again you got 0. So you can generally choose the angle there. So we have a contour, which is basically affects this gradation. I mean, from this point to this point, there's fall off. I mean, this is highest point, this is lowest point, and it is linearly falling off. You can just click that, and then you can change the way this fall off is. So it's slightly round here. You can explore this with different types of bevels so that you can understand what's really happening there. Okay, so there is some carving which is happening in that area. So if you can explore, I mean, you just click here and then you get this. You can actually make it more customized if you wanted them. Now when I do a lot of ups and downs, this looks like a hyper glossy metal object. So you can go and then choose your default one if you wanted to, or you can just click and then start exploring this points. So click and drag it outside, that will delete that point. You can click that and then click on the curve and add a point there. So you have linear, you have cone, you got Gaussian. So you can choose any one of these effects what you have, or you can go to the linear, which is sort of default contour given to it. The next thing is we have anti-aliased, which is going to anti-alias this. So switching them on can actually smoothen up things, so keep it on. Then you have highlight and shadow, which is basically, as I was telling you, there is a light and there's a shadow. So light is right now a white color. So if you want to give that coloring, so you can, let's say I give a warm color here. Okay, so I've given this warm color, but it's somehow looking white because the blending mode is screen. But if you choose it to normal, you whatever color is there, it shows up, but it looks very opaque. So it is always important that the light has to, you know, blend with the color on which it is. For example, if there's a white cloth and then you put a red light on it, you get red color, right? On a yellow color cloth, if you put a red light, it gives a red. So there is a color blending happening between the source color light and also the object color. So normal doesn't do that, so that's why they put it to screen. Generally in 3D layer compositing, the light is actually added and shadows are multiplied. So keeping that in mind, they have done this. However, you can explore the other blending modes. So we have the blending modes, you can check them. So you have darken, you can try linear dodge also, which is add blending mode, or you can use screen blending mode. Again, it's okay to explore the blending modes there and see which one really suits your requirement, and there is nothing wrong exploring the blending modes. And on the shadow side, you have black. You can try using any colors you wanted and then get that extra look to your result. So we have outer bevel, then we have the inner bevel, and then we have emboss, we have pillow emboss, then we have stroke emboss. So you can try any one. So inner bevel is sort of used a lot, so I'm going to choose that, and then I can make this soften and then do that. So it looks like nice round and and it's looks like a balloon or puffed shape. It doesn't look like a hard object. And we have also got is contour, Contour, again here it is default. You can choose the contour and then start affecting the way this blending is happening here. Okay, again explore this with different types of bevels. So this is actually making things to fall off and suddenly raise here at certain area. So how this has to be, you can generally set up. It looks nice puffy. Okay, you have also got the texture which you can choose, and texture is here. You can choose any textures you have got. So these textures, I'll reduce the scale and then depth. So you should able to see, okay, we have snap to origin, which is basically you have the texture and that is snap to the origin, which is here. Okay, Photoshop's origin is here. I mean, if you see X and Y coordinates, it will be here. So doesn't make much sense. So you can try using depth. You can invert the texture. It's like a bump map applied to the bevel when you're using texture to it. And you have link with layer. So what that actually does is, let's say if I apply this and start moving this lines are staying intact. However, when I go to this link with layer option off and then move it, then you should able to see that the textures keep changing. So you can generally use this option there. Okay, so adding shadow effects and gives you that extra third dimension. Okay, so I'll show you, I just create something on this and let's see how it will turn up. So you need not start from scratch. Let's say you can go to Windows and then we have styles here. Okay, so you can choose all these styles and just apply that style to your text. Okay, so this is using different type of effects. So let me go to web styles and then you have some nice glossy looking text there. Okay, so you can try now applying them. So I've got this and I'm going to duplicate the layer, Control J, and to that layer I will be applying this one, and you should be able to see that nice effect we have got. And I suggest you to study this layer effects. Okay, so let me come here to this one and then double click and then see what's really happening with the bevel. So if you see, the bevel is inner bevel, smooth and all that stuff, and it has given with the contour. Okay, so that's giving that extra highlight. Okay, and you can switch off all and then see what is actually giving what result. Okay, so the bevel emboss has got the light coming from the top, and then there's a contour given to it, then there's an inner shadow, there's an inner glow, there's a satin effect, there's a color overlay, there's outer glow, there's a drop shadow. So when all that effects come in place, then you get this nice result. So they want to show this as a jelly, that's the reason they give shadow to green. If I give this to black, it sort of looks opaque. So you can click and drag the shadow if you wanted, and then you can try opacity also. And we have this option called global light. When you switch it on and when I drag the shadow, okay, so I need to switch the global light here. Now when I go to the shadow section and then drag the shadow, you should be able to see the light is responding to it. You see the highlight on top and the shadow is on the bottom. When I move the shadow up, the highlight comes to the bottom and the shadow goes to that. So global light is like when you switch on this option in all the attributes wherever it's there. So when you move the light direction just by dragging the shadow, all that effects, inner shadows and all that stuff will start moving accordingly. Okay, so bevel emboss is fun to create. I'll show you some more examples also. So here I've got this wooden texture. So let me create this text tool. Just type the text again. So this time I'm going to use a different font actually. Okay, so select the text and then change the font type. So let's explore this text styles. So I just wanted a very simple blocky text font. So what I'm doing is I'm holding control and click the thumbnail of the text and copy the information from the background and paste it. So you got the text layer. Text is in form of the wood. Now I select this text, go to the file bevel emboss and then here choose the outer bevel. Okay, so I'm going to increase the depth there. So I'm going to put the shadow opacity, which was actually, I'll just reset it, that should be working good. So I'll go to the outer bevel and then increase the size. Okay, then you should able to see this this thing looks as if I have really extruded it outside. However, if I put it this way, it looks as if it is carved inside. So I go to the Chisel Hard and then I can change the direction here just to give that effect. So the inner doesn't look really great. I just go for the outer bevel and then increase the size there. Smooth looks good actually instead of chisel. You can start exploring the contours to get it make it look more prominent, and then you can try working on the space size. Okay, lighting is really important, and then I want the light to be coming from that direction. See, you could have that nice effect as if you have carved a text on the wood. Okay, I've downloaded this image from Pexel's website, so I will share the link in the description. Let me try something else. So I'll just go with another file and then take a nice blue color. Okay, now let's type a text and I choose a white color here. And then I choose a font which is sort of this, and then maybe you can choose Times font. you got italic, you got bold, so I choose regular. Okay, now what I'm going to do is I'm going to change the text color to this one. Okay, now let me apply bevel emboss. Okay, and choose inner bevel, and then choose chisel hard, and then go for the color which is going to be a dark red, and then I just wanted it to be slightly goldish, so you can go to the contour section and then do that. I get that nice third dimension. Enable satin here. Okay, for satin I just choose this color, and then you have distance, normal blending mode. Just let's see, try changing the colors, and then also blending modes. I choose multiply and then reduce opacity. Actually satin is not looking good for this, so just keep it that way. And then if you want to soften that bevel, you can just slightly soften it. And also you can try working on color overlays. Contour is way so let me try exploring different contours. They all look good actually. It's only your choice to pick them. What actually adds more to this is the shadow. So when you add shadow, it looks really nice. And also play with the colors. They are more important. Then you should be able to see this nice text which looks like a 3D. Okay, it has got that nice shadow as if you have put that on a wall, like some metal object text which you see for the signage, and the light is creating the shadow as it is slightly elevated above the ground, above the wall. So yeah, bevel emboss gives you that extra dimension or effect to the text what you have picked. So there are so many variants you have seen, and see which one works for you.